Jesse Ray Growth House Podcast. I'm here with my friend Andres. Andres, bro, we have not even met in person, but we've been like social media friends, but also like deeper than that for about 3 years.
Yeah, social media homies, dude, for sure. It's crazy how social media can just bring people together because we've talked so much through that. It seems like if I already know you in person.
This is so true. And I'm actually excited because we're going to touch on social media. You've blown up in the past couple of years. You have a little formula. You have some tactical steps for us. But before we dive into all of that, I want to first give you a shout out and also just let you know how much I appreciate you, because we can go back to in our DMs. Before I even got my first house, I was trying to figure this whole house hacking thing out. I think I heard you on a podcast that was Real Estate Rock Stars. I'm like, this dude's young, crushing it. And I think you were talking about house hacking. And I was like, I want to reach out to him. Reached out to you. You responded. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm a nobody. I don't have any real estate. Started asking you some questions. You were just super chill, super cool. Literally just giving me, some advice on my first house hack. Long story short, I ended up buying that house. And then I buy another house within that same year and hit financial freedom, financial independence.
Let's go.
And I will say a lot of that has to do with people like you. Like people that were there in the very beginning, encouraging me, giving me that belief that I can do it as well. Because I know a lot of people are stuck there. And if I didn't have people like you, man, it might have taken, 4 or 5 more years. So Andres, man, shout you out and I appreciate you, dog.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you too, man. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. So Mr. Andres, you're big on social media. Everyone can go follow you. Millionaire at 27. You bought your first property pretty young, which we can dive into that. You're about to buy another property in Puerto Rico. So, me, you and Diego go have some fun out there. I'm definitely going to have to pick up my Spanish and my salsa. Are you good at salsa?
Oh, salsa bachata, dude. I just started, but I'm getting better and better. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm already behind with the Spanish, so at least gotta pick up some salsa. And then also you sold, I think, over 140 homes in the last few years.
Yeah, about 140, which is like 80 million in volume in the past 4 years.
Let's go. And how old are you right now?
28. Turned 28.
28 years
March
old.
28th. Yeah.
Okay. And then you're now able to, as a real estate agent, you also have a team in place, which I think is very critical because I know a lot of real estate agents that make a lot of money. But if I say, hey, can we go travel? They're like, I can't. You, on the other hand, you built systems and processes where you're actually able to travel. You were just where for 2 weeks?
In Europe, in London, watching Arsenal. I'm a huge Arsenal fan. Like, I freaking love football. So Arsenal, when I go Munich, Dortmund game, I watched like 5 games. Paris, Barcelona. Oh my gosh, it was incredible.
I love that. Are you going to be going to Europe in the summer at any point?
I might. I'm debating if I go to the Olympics or the Euros. I still don't know, but I mean, with the real estate team in place and the systems that have been set, I know I can go. So it's more so if I decide to do so.
That's amazing. I asked that because a good friend of mine, and I believe yours as well, Brian Lubin, we're planning right now our Europe tour. So we're
dude,
leaving.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we spent like 3 weeks in Colombia together, and then now we're gonna go probably a month and a half, travel all around Europe, and
That's sick.
I'm super excited about that.
Is it you two that are going?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. You guys are gonna love it. That's awesome. Europe is amazing.
I'm fired up. Yeah, he's already done it. He's done the whole world tour, and he's like, all right, there's some spots I haven't been. Jesse, let's go hit these spots. And then some of them, this is funny. So some of them were like, all right, we're gonna hit the south of France, and he goes, bro, it sounds good, but then it's like also I'm going to the south of France with a homie. That's just kind of weird. So we might have to do like break up, get a
That's
a
hilarious.
girlfriend, and then go back to the south of France.
Yeah, like the Côte d'Azur. I used to live in the south of France actually when I was 16.
Really?
It's cool, but yeah, that's funny he says that because it is a different vibe. Yeah.
It's definitely more like more romantic setting. Like
Yeah,
it should be
because
more of
it's
a
like the
couples thing.
vineyards and the beach and all that stuff. He's right.
Just two
That's
homies walking
hilarious.
through the vineyards together.
Hey, you never know, bro. Bromance.
Oh man, that's funny. But my guy, let's dive into your story. So we kind of talked already about where you're at now with life and the ability to travel, have the rental properties, but let's take a step back. When did you start getting into real estate? Like maybe just a 5-minute journey of real estate
Sure.
and then where you're, where you're at now.
Definitely. So the real estate started more so out of a need. When I was 19, as I'm sure a lot of people when they get into college are like, what do I want to do? And I have to figure it out. Same for me. I thought I had to figure everything out. I thought I wanted to be an international business major and with a minor in MIS, but I needed to also find a way to pay for college. So real estate allowed me that kind of asset to pay for college because I didn't want to have a boss, nor did I want to have an 8 to 5. Got my real estate license at 19. I would help students find apartments, and those apartments would pay me for finding those renters. So I paid for all of college with that. Then at 21, as a college student, I made a sale of a $1 million condo and I got like $20,000 in commission, like as a student. And then I was like, hey, maybe real estate is something that I want to do. Upon graduation, though, everyone's telling me, like, get a stable job. You need to be doing something that is going to be making you money, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, where you graduate and you're like, I still don't know what I want to do, but everyone's telling me stability is what I should get. But those moments, those moments that tell you, like intuition tells you, don't do it, go with what your gut is telling you. And I'd always been intuition based, but I guess not that much as to go like against what a lot of people were telling me to do. But I said, screw it. I'm going to go for it. I did the real estate thing right out of college, and I didn't make a single sale for like 6 months, 8 months. And then I made a sale in March when I met Diego Corzo. I joined his team. And then from there, it kind of started picking up. And that's when I started to do real estate. Long story short, joined Diego's team. We became business partners. Now I mentor several agents. This was about 4 years ago when I joined the team. And I went from 0 sales to now about 130 to 140, which is about 80 million to 85 million in volume. But I mean, it's a testament to surrounding myself with the right people. Also being disciplined. The discipline is so important. Like motivation is bullshit, honestly. It's all about the discipline, is keep your word and do what you say you're going to do. And then also just putting in the work when you don't see the results. Because I didn't see the results, even though I would put in the work a lot, until I started seeing it slowly picking up. And then it snowballed, So those were the things that I was like, damn it. But it all worked out, thankfully. Just kept going and going. So that's like a short story on the real estate side of things.
Yeah. Let's stay there real quick. What did that maybe first and second property look like? Because from what I remember, you house hacked, and that's a strategy that Diego and I talk about it. Everyone, within our circle of friends are like, yo, the shortcut to becoming a millionaire and success in real estate, especially if you're young, house hacking. So walk me through maybe that first and second house hacking, what you had to do to get it.
Definitely. And the 140 was sales. So I don't own 140 properties. It's 140 sales. But the first house hack, it was a new build. So I bought this home and I lived in one unit, not one unit, one room, rented out the other. So it was a 4 beds, 3.5 baths home, new build. So I got it under contract with the deposit, and the home wasn't finished yet. So I got it under contract. And then by the time it was finished, about 6 months later, the home was already worth way more than what I got it under contract for. So like I said, I house hacked it. A year later, it's worth like 100,000 more than what I had it for. And I got a home equity line of credit. And with that home equity line of credit, I now lend people money.
You mentioned getting into a new build. That was your first property. And I know you were a big proponent of the new builds because you get in early, and then especially with appreciation, you're out in Austin, Texas. It was just skyrocketing at that time. And by the time the last house got built, usually the first houses also went up in value, correct? Is that kind of the strategy that you use for new builds?
Correct, because with the builders, usually you just get the home under contract. The only thing required is a deposit. You lock the home's price, and then given that builders build in phases, the same exact floor plan will probably be sold. And with that, if the same floor plan is sold for a higher price, your home is worth more now. So yeah, I love the new builds because of that appreciation potential. Now it's not that high, but during COVID, it was extremely high.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you this, because we definitely got into the market at times where it wasn't 7-8% interest, right? And we still preach that, hey, house hacking is the way to go. You work with a lot of clients. I'm not an agent, so I want an agent's perspective on someone's investing in Austin, Texas. They want to do the whole house hacking thing. They want to reach financial freedom, financial independence. They want to cover at least, eventually up to 10K in semi or passive income through rental properties, house hacking, and then maybe co-living. How would you get that first one? Walk me through that process of how you would help someone get into a house hack today with today's rates.
Okay, today with today's rates, the most important thing is always really asking the person what their goal is and what's the market expectation. Because the right time to buy for someone is always different than the right time to buy maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. So this is all based on the individual and it's not based on what other people are saying or this and that. So the right time to buy is more so when that person's ready. So I always ask several questions to really get an idea, but what are the expectations? If they have the right expectations, great. And then what's your goal? Nowadays, if you're house hacking, you most likely will not be making cash flow. That's the reality of things. And you have to at least know that, hey, at least my money is going towards building that equity and those tax incentives as opposed to maybe the money going down the drain. So I want these people to have the right expectations. If you're house hacking a 4-bed, 5-bed, you're probably still going to be negative about 500 or 1,000. But some people would rather do that than renting and not really building any equity whatsoever or getting tax incentives or maybe getting a HELOC on that house. So it's always about expectations, but I always guide people through that. And I ask questions to really delve deep into, does it make sense for you or does it not? I'm so straight up. I tell people, it's like, bro, it's not the right time to buy for you then. Or if someone wants to invest in Austin, they're like investments and they're like, I want to cash flow. I'm like, Austin's not the right place because you need to be putting at least 50% down to cash flow as an investment property.
So if someone was trying, you might have just answered this. If someone was trying to, let's say, generate let's just say $1,000 of cash flow from a property in Austin and the surrounding areas, what strategy and is that possible right now in today's market and rates?
So if they were wanting the cash flow in today's market in Austin, it would honestly, unless you're putting 50% down, it's not possible. That's the reality of today's market with how the prices have gone up and how the rates have gone up as well. The rents haven't caught up. So Austin for appreciation potential is a great market. Just know that appreciation is speculation, but for a cash flow perspective, it's honestly not the best market. That's the reality of the Austin market.
So for you, as you get more cash flow, you probably have a lot of liquid. Obviously, you're going to Puerto Rico. What's the play there? Is a Puerto Rico play more of like, hey, I want a place to go, have some fun, hang out, or also I want to Airbnb it when I'm not there? What's that play?
It's definitely an Airbnb move, and also it's like I have a cash in the bank that's just sitting there, so I need to make it like I need to use it. And I was talking to my GoPod. GoPod is like my accountability group from GoAbundance. And I was like, guys, I need to put money to use. And on my Go sheet, my one sheet, I put like, okay, buy an investment property. So that was the reasoning behind getting that in Puerto Rico. And also, I mean, for Airbnb purposes and whatnot.
Love it. Makes sense. All right. So going to social media, because I want to cover this because I personally am trying to grow a bigger brand on social media and you've kind of cracked that code. So walk me through what that looks like and the steps that you've taken to, blow up your social media.
Definitely. Like the 3 frameworks, honestly, for social media that I had to learn the hard way because I'd been doing it for 4 years. And this past years when I was more intentional with it was number 1, that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be posted. Meaning that a lot of the times we get in our head about, how am I going to sound? What are people going to think? Who gives a shit what people think? It's more so the framework that you have to put. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be posted. But why are you posting this? Because there's people that need your help that don't yet know about you. So the way I see it, if I'm putting a house tour, I'm doing something to educate people and there's going to be haters and this and that. Well, I shouldn't care because if I'm not posting this and I'm not making videos, I'm not creating videos, then the people that I could have helped will never know about this. So there's people out there that we have to be educating, be it real estate, be it whatever you want to be doing, because I'm sure a lot of people do like content creation to help others. So it's our duty to be doing that to help educate others. So that's the first mindset that I had to shift because at first I would get nervous. Then the second thing is every moment in business has a story. So for me in real estate, a lot of the times a lot of people just put just closed or just listed, whatever. That's not really what gets people. It's more so if you can draw people's attention through a story, through drawing into their emotions. Is like, look, maybe Jesse was facing this problem and this is how it was solved. A lot of people might relate to your problem and how it was solved. And if I was a person that solved that, then they're going to want to go for me for whenever it comes to helping them with real estate. So a lot of storytelling, that's very important. Like storytelling really draws people in their emotional side, and that's when people make decisions. And then point three is that whenever people think of whatever you're doing, for example, for me, it's real estate, they need to think of you. For example, let's say someone asks you, what do you think of when you think of basketball? A lot of people say Michael Jordan, Kobe, Lakers, Warriors. So with this, the point being that in real estate, I want people, whenever they're thinking of, oh, I need help through real estate, I need to think of Andres. And that's one of the things that I've done through the content that I've posted. And it's more so like posting every day or making stories on Instagram, the ones that like last 24 hours. And that's when people would start telling me when I was barely starting off, it's like, dude, I see you're doing a lot of real estate, you're crushing it, this and that. Perception is important. So if you can put more of that out there, people will start correlating whatever it is that you want them to correlate with you.
So good. So when you're talking about your reels, what is the strategy that you use? Because a lot of people just cut up little clips and post them. And I'm like, dude, you've done the same thing for a year, getting 30 views. But you, on the other hand, you make it creative, you make it fun. Is there like a framework that you use when you create the reels?
Well, I would say definitely it's more so like bringing the energy. A lot of people have said, it's like, bro, I love the energy that you bring because I'm always honestly like doing dumb stuff and I don't care what others will think. So it's the energy that has been important and also just changing it up. I'm talking real estate related. For real estate related, I do home tours, hyper local stuff. So like hyper local as in what's the coolest coffee shop in Austin? Or always causing controversy, which I love. It's like this is the best barbecue in the whole country, which I knew would piss people off. And that video is like blowing up because everyone's like, no, it's not the best barbecue. And I was like, this is perfect because I wanted people to get pissed. And then, so I said home tours, hyper local, and then educational videos. So those are the three things that I've started to do. And I've seen that the home tours do very well when it comes to real estate stuff. Then the hyper local stuff does very well as well. Because it's like people that are moving to Austin or are in Austin that are seeing that type of stuff. So if you're ever doing videos and whatnot, you don't want it to be doing the same thing over and over. It's more so you want to mix it around.
Mm-hmm. So good. What about your cadence? How often do you post, and then how often do you suggest other people to post if they're trying to, copy kind of your game plan?
I would say minimum once per day, honestly. And at first, trust me, when I hear this, if I would have heard this 2 years ago, I'd have been like, bro, you're crazy. It's a reality though. That's how it works with like Instagram and TikTok, two per day. But with Instagram, Brian Lubin and I were talking about this, but I mean, it's a reality, you know? At first I thought, oh, I don't want to be annoying, but it's like if I post more, I'll be educating more people and the chances of me helping more people gets higher and higher. So I started January 17th until the end of this year by posting one per day, and I've grown my following by like more than 10,000 to I don't even know 11,000. But I mean, it's definitely worked with this, you know, and with the metrics that Instagram shows, the best posting times for me are between 11 and 1. So it helps to look at your metrics. I don't look at them that often, honestly, but it's definitely helped posting at least once per day. It's been a game changer, honestly.
Couple questions there. Do you batch your content, or are you just like
Yeah.
every day, like, hey, I'm just
No,
gonna do two
bro.
videos a day?
If I did not batch, bro, I would have more white hairs than I can
Bro,
imagine. Bro, seriously.
Brian batch it. Brian doesn't batch. Brian does like a video, at least when he was doing like two a day. Brian was
Oh,
literally in his
nice.
car after the gym doing a video every single day.
I don't know how he did. Like, props to him because I would have been going. I used to do that, and I legit would get so just like, bro. I was like, dude, I need to stop this. So every Wednesday, I go with my business partner and we film like 10 videos, and then I edit all of it, and then I'm like, okay, this one for this day, boom, boom, boom. Oh my gosh, it's been such a big difference, thankfully. Yeah, batching is key, man. If you don't do that, you're gonna get so stressed, and it's just gonna be unwanted like energy that's being left behind.
And you edit? You said you edit your own videos?
Yeah, that's one thing I probably need to outsource. like through CapCut.
Well,
Well, look.
I've commented like, dude, you're fire. You're really
No,
good.
okay. The videos that look badass, like the super cool videos, that's my videographer. You
Oh,
can tell
okay,
the
now you
difference.
tell
Yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah. No. Yeah, no, you can tell the difference. The house tours, those are the ones I edit, which is just like auto captions and just
Hmm.
speeding it up. Yeah, no, the house tours, I edit them. It's super simple. The cool videos, no, that's no way in hell that's me. Like, there's no way I would have time for that, nor do I want to learn that. So that's my videographer.
Right. Talk to me
Yeah.
about I have, let's see here. My strategy is pretty much kind of copying what Brian was able to do, doing like the stitch and then kind of doing my take on a popular hook, right? And so with that being said, I'm seeing some videos that just don't hit. And usually you can tell, I think, within the first like 5, 10 minutes, like, okay, this got picked up by the algorithm or it didn't. And most of my reels, if I just do a normal reel, it gets, 1,500 to 2,000 views. This one was at like 17 views for like 30 minutes. I was like, what happened? So do
Yeah.
you take those down? Do you let those ride out? Do you repost them later? What's
No.
your thoughts there?
Honestly, I just leave them. I don't really care.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't really have any like I guess feedback for that. It's just I'll leave it. I try not to look at it because I don't want that to be a reason to where my mood swings and whatnot. Because I know a lot of people do that, and I've had that happen to where I'm like, shit, it's not getting the amount of likes or whatever that I wanted or thought it would. But I mean, it's a reality, those things happen. And the more you post, the more you'll learn, the
hmm.
more feedback you'll get. So that's kind of how I see it. Every time I post is an opportunity for feedback. And if it's not working, it's probably because I didn't do the best job, maybe, so I need to just get better.
Is there anything else I haven't asked you about social media that you think would
But
be good tips?
about social media, dude, if you can be a great storyteller, that's the key to like crushing it on social media. Because that's when you get at people emotionally. People are invested in that. And honestly, Toastmasters, which is a public speaking group, is one of the best things that has ever happened to me in my life. I've been in it for 2 to 3 years now, and that has really helped me so much as a real estate agent, confidence wise as well. And just in general, being able to convey a message and give feedback, bro, I will pay for whoever wants to join Toastmasters. Like 5 people that want to join and listen to it, send me a message, bro. I'll pay for it. Like I know it's so great, and I want people to do it because it's been a game changer for me. Seriously, Toastmasters is amazing.
Is that exclusive offer for the Growth House community?
Yeah, bro, go for it. I'll pay for the
Let's
first year.
go.
Yeah,
All right, there you go. DM them and let them know that you heard it on the podcast and you're like, I'm committed. They have to be committed. And I think they should at least give you like a quarterly update or something too, because
yeah.
that would be
Yeah, give me a
that'd be
quarterly
awesome.
update. 100%, dude. And like this is I don't understand why people don't. I tell people this, like, I'll pay for it, and some people don't do it. It's just like, do you not want to get better, or what is it? And I know people have the fear of public speaking. And seriously, like, I don't know about you all, but I rather like live knowing what happened as opposed to living knowing what could have been. So, hey, you might
Mm,
get embarrassed, but who gives a shit? At least you're gonna get better. I can assure you, if you go, you'll at least get better.
so true. I need to do that actually myself because I would love that. I like public speaking, but to take it to that next level, 100%. Like I've been
Bro,
putting
it's
it off.
huge. Huge, bro. Do it. I'll pay for your membership.
There you go. Yes.
First one, 4 more.
Uh, I love it. I love it. All right, bro. Let's change topics. You have a morning routine, and this is something that I
Yes.
remember hearing back, 3, 4 years ago. Besides you, knowing Diego Corzo, which the only reason I know Diego is through you. You told me about him on a podcast. And then also
Hell
what I
yeah.
remember from that podcast was your morning routine. I'm like, damn, I need to start implementing this sort of routine into my life. So I wanted you to, walk through what that looks like. What is your perfect morning routine?
Perfect morning routine. Wake up at 5:50. Get to the gym by 6. Do a 1 hour to 1 hour 15-minute workout. Get to the house. Cold shower. And this, mind you, this is not using your phone whatsoever. Like that's one of the most important things. Actually, let's start with the night prior because this is super important that a lot of people get wrong. So by 8 p.m., I'm off my phone. I put my phone on my desk and I write down the top 3 tasks that I'm going to do for the next day because I at least know when I wake up, like these are the 3 things that I need to do. That's the night part. I wake up, only use my phone to either change a podcast or legit to change the music. So 5:50 a.m. wake up, gym 6 p.m. until like 7, cold shower. Then I do affirmations, meditations, scribing, which I write down what I'm thinking, 3 things that I'm grateful for. And then with this, I start 15 minutes and I read. Then I start 15 minutes of the most important task. And then I go get breakfast. And then after 10 a.m., that's when I can use my phone for social media. So that's kind of how it is in a nutshell right there. And bro, no joke, like this is probably the biggest factor in just me, my energy, how I am, how I show myself up to others. It's so crucial. Like a morning routine has really changed my life. And I played around with it. You don't have to wake up like freaking 3 a.m. I used to wake up at like 4:30. Bro, I used to wake up at 4:30. It's a reality. And I would be like, damn, I don't have that much energy. And maybe it was the story I was telling myself. I also think it was partly because I was like, bro, I wasn't getting enough sleep. But now like 5:50 has been like, oh, I love it. It's perfect. And it's been what's working for me.
So you're probably sleeping by 9, getting up at 5:50?
Exactly. Like 9, 10, no later than like 10:30. Yesterday though, I slept so late, like at 3 a.m., bro, and I never do that.
Dang.
Yeah, I know.
On a Wednesday, I won't ask any questions, but Andres.
Crazy, bro.
Oh man. Let me ask you this. Was college worth it?
So honestly, for being like street smart and the people that I met and kind of, those things in college that come up that you're like, I need to figure it out one way or another. And that might not be that orthodox way. It's more so unorthodox. That's what it was worth it for me, because in my business fraternity, I was like the vice president of social activities and I had to like negotiate with clubs, with venues, and I had to get people together. Dude, that taught me so much about dealing with people. So it was more so the groups that I was a part of and the people that I met. But for my school, like international business, bro, I didn't learn anything. Like being frank, I went to UT Austin. It's one of the best schools ever. For business, for me, I don't think it's worth it. Because you can learn, bro, if you get an internship, you can learn way more in 2 months than you learn in 2-3 years, honestly. What taught me more was the 2 internships I had, one in Mexico and one in Houston. And then the fact that I worked for all of college. So for me, for school wise, it wasn't worth it, but for the people I met and the street smart that I learned, it was worth it.
I love that answer. And I think, like you said, depends on the person and what they're trying to accomplish. And they're trying to be a real estate agent or they're trying to be an entrepreneur. I don't see the value in college.
Bro, corporate America is insane, bro. Like it just, it's crazy. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like 8 to 5, you have to follow someone's lead all the time. You have to work for someone. There's a ceiling to what you can. It's insane, bro. Like thankfully, I learned about the differences early on. Honestly, I'm so grateful. Because if not, I think I would just not be happy. To be frank with you.
Growth House, we're all about being a go-giver community. So we want to provide value for everyone that comes on the show, especially if someone reaches out, right? No one's going to reach out and say, hey, Andres, can I pick your brain? If they do, let me know. So with that being said, how can someone support what you're doing or bring you some value when they reach out?
Dude, honestly, what would bring value is join Toastmasters and I'll pay for it. Like, I want people to seriously, bro, like, there's just so much potential with that and the public speaking stuff. So that's what would bring value. Like if someone actually does what they say they're going to do, that'd be awesome.
Have you got Brian Lubin on Toastmasters? I know that's one of his biggest fears is public speaking.
Bro, I told him yesterday.
Did you?
Or 2 days ago. He's going to come. Yeah. 100%
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So how do people find you? What platforms are you on? And is there a YouTube also that someone can find you on? Just kind of break down your socials.
Sure. Instagram and TikTok's what I'm mostly on. It's Andres Busta TX, Andres Bustatx.
Andres, my man, I'm excited. I mean, if I don't see you in Austin, I'm going to see you in Puerto Rico. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for sticking through this because I know we had a lot of freezing and some technical difficulties.
No worries, bro.
We might just have to run it back in person. That would be awesome.
Hell yeah. That'd be sick, bro. Yeah, just let me know. I appreciate you too, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Growth House Podcast. I am Jesse Ray here with the one, the only social media master, real estate agent king, Andres Bustamante.